What's happening? It's Chris Hall here. You are now tuned into the Chris Hall Show, where we discuss dating, relationships, and much, much more. Like my boy Drake would say, well, all right. It is December's very own Chris Hall. How y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing? Sit on down. When you get in, make sure that you hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to the Chris Hall Show as of yet, then why don't you go ahead and mosey over to that subscribe button right after you hit that like button. Then make sure you hit that notification button. All these buttons, right? Why do YouTubers come on and tell you what to do? And I just realized that. Like, we come on with this silly intro and make y'all click all this shit. I wish there was just one thing you could click and just do it all. But anyway, for your boy, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime that I drop some new content. So, a lot has been going on. Let me pull this up here. Not that. Need to pull up this. A lot has been going on since we've been gone. Last week we had the second installment of my live panel discussion that we have now coined Triggered Live. So we had that Wednesday. It was a blast. I just want to thank everyone who came out. I want to give a special shout out to the Millions of Me podcast who came on and were gracious guests. And they helped me out as we ran through these thought-provoking questions through the evening. So shout out to them. Make sure you check out everything that they have going on. Shout out to everyone who came in attendance. Like I stated that night, man, it really means a lot to me. I would have never thought that a year ago, when I started this whole thing, that I would be able to even garner anybody coming to listen to me talk and even be a part of this. So I am enjoying the journey, and I'm glad that you all are taking it with me. But let's get into it. So there were some topics. Well, there were some things going on since we last were at least on live, because, of course, I usually take a little break prior to the Chris Hall Show because it is a lot to get together and gather all the material and make sure everything is A-OK. Some of the content, some of the live is on my page. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me at ChrisHallATL. That's where some of my content lives as well. But if you check on my Instagram page, the live is posted on there. That does have some of the content. We did have some technical difficulties when it came to the visuals. So that's why I am reaching out. If anyone knows a good videographer or just cameraman who can record a couple hours of footage, continuous footage, and send me those files so I can edit it and redistribute it back to the world. So if you do know somebody, let me know. This is actually Red Bull. I don't know why this is. Maybe it's the white that I have on is reflecting off of something. Let me move this over here, maybe. I don't know, y'all. I just set my equipment back up, and it was straight earlier. Anywho, y'all let me know if anything crazy is going on over on that side. But yeah, we had some technical difficulties, so I am looking for a cameraman. So if you know one, holla at me, drop something in the DM. You see all my it's just social media and all that good stuff right here. You know what's funny? I'm looking right at y'all and right at the screen, and I don't even notice my Instagram is already up there. That's how used I am to saying that. Is that how used I am? How much I say that? How much I'm used to saying that? Just telling people what to do all the time. But yeah, the audio is A-OK, so I'm going to be chopping some of that up and redistributing. Tonight, we are going to be having a recap of the event. Like I said, thank everybody for coming out. Everyone was a good sport. Once again, of course, I did not get through all my questions. I like to bring about 6 to 7 questions. I think the next show, I'm going to limit it to 4 questions. So whenever I come back on live, I can now say I finished all my questions, because the past two events we wasn't able to finish the questions. And to be honest with you, I think that's a good thing. You know why? Because that means that these questions are so thought provoking that it lasts for a whole 2.5 hours almost. And it's just amazing to me how engaged the entire crowd is when we have these discussions. And I'm working on making this available to the public. I do want this to be more available to the public so you all can experience Triggered Live. I will be having interviews drop on my Instagram with the audience giving their review on Triggered Live and letting you all know their honest opinions on it, because I like constructive criticism. And I swear to you guys, even after the show is over, we have to get kicked out of the venue because people are still there having some of the same conversations. It is almost like this is what the streets really need. It's just conversations, right? And it's like people are yearning for real conversations, because think about it. All that we do, not all that we do, but one can argue that we spend more time, see my phone here? We spend more time socializing on our phones than in person. We all go to work from a 9 to 5. You get home, you take your dog out, you go to the gym, you get back home, you shower, you do a little bit of reading, a little bit of studying if you're in school or something like that. And before you know it, it's 10:30. You don't want to go out to the bar or meet your friends anywhere. You'll holler at them for brunch on Saturday or Sunday or something, you know. Then you finally meet up with that person at one time, and then that's the last time that you really socialize in public, besides with your coworkers. God forbid you work at home. You're really just typing to people on Microsoft Teams and Zoom calls and all this other stuff. So I think now is the perfect time to start having these live discussions. That's why coming on live, and also the Zoom link is in the comments here. You can click that Zoom link if you want to come in and voice your opinion. I'm about to actually get into the show. At least the meat and potatoes of it right now. We're just having to recap. But the Zoom link is in the description here or in the comment section. If you click the Zoom link, make sure you don't have YouTube open at the same time. You're going to have some type of infinite loop of audio loop, and it's not going to sound right. So if you click that link, once you get in the chat, make sure that you close the YouTube link and just talk to me directly on Zoom, and we can have a conversation with the congregation. Let's see. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have less questions, but yeah, everyone is still at the event and we're still talking, we're still having a good time, and the owner of the spot literally has to kick us out. And I'm glad. There was a full bar. Bar staff was great. Everything was good. Everyone got their drinks on time. Everything was awesome. So I do want to shout out to the Love Below Speakeasy for allowing me to have my event there. I do appreciate it. It was great, and can't wait to do the next one. Trying to make the next one public, man. I'm telling you, it is going to be so dope when you come out there to Triggered Live and engage in conversation with different people. Everyone was a good sport. Of course, we have a rambunctious crowd at times, but that's literally what we came for. The show is called Triggered for a reason. But getting right into it. So the question of the day, or of the night, is, should a woman in a relationship be accepting drinks from another man? This was one of the questions that we asked, along with other questions. We also asked, I got the questions here, are trans women women? That was exciting. We also talked about, should black men be able to voice their opinions when it comes to a woman's appearance? That one, look, crazy. Exploded the entire room. And then I think the topic that we discussed the longest which is not my normal content, but I have been sprinkling a little adobo, a little seasoning in my normal content. And we talked about, does Black Lives matter? Do Black lives really matter, or does it only matter depending on who takes said Black life? That one was really good, I think. I especially like that one. Had a conversation with a young man there. We had a great back and forth. Looking forward to him being back on the show because we did have a great conversation. And I posted a post today on my Instagram that stated, where is it? Good Lord. Before you argue with someone, ask yourself, is this person mentally mature enough to grasp the concept of different perspectives? If not, there is no point to argue. And I've never constructed that like that, but that's been my thought process for a long time now. That if someone is not willing to, not even, you don't have to accept it, but be able to hear out another perspective, to find out why you think that way, instead of just challenging why you think that way because of how they feel or what they've been through. See, man, what I used to say this, this person that's talking is not clinically or mentally disabled. So at the least, they believe what they say. Let's find out why is that, and then we can walk down that road instead of just having an argument. I think that's the difference between an argument, a discussion, a debate. I think those are very, very different things. So that was definitely fun. So let's get into it. Let's look at the video. So we're going to watch a snippet of the conversation from Triggered Live where we discuss, should a woman in a relationship accept drinks from men now or other men? Now, this was more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Let's get into it. Like good crap.
Whatever. Guess who's Gazette?
So we're gonna calm it down a little bit.
Hello?
All right. Just a smidge. Yeah, just a smidge. All right. So next question. We're gonna get right into it. In a relationship, this is for the ladies. In a relationship, would you accept a drink from a man?
That's not my man.
You mean if you in a relationship and you go out and another nigga try to buy you a drink, would you accept?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Were y'all surprised at that? I think I was more surprised at how bold the yes was. I would feel like I thought that they would kind of walk it down, kind of, gently or kind of back into it a little bit. I think I was more shocked at the bravado of the yes. It was an automatic yes. And mind you, we've been asking questions all night long, and every question they've added context to. But that one there was a complete yes. Concise and all. There was no waffling at all. I was surprised at that. I was very surprised.
I get drunk. Yes. The fuck?
All right.
I'm not even sure I paid for this drink.
Nice. So, what do y'all think? Is it a conversation to be had maybe with your spouse prior? See, that's what the route I thought they were gonna go. is maybe a discussion was had with their spouse to see if this was acceptable or not. This didn't even seem like it was worth being ran by a spouse because of the aggression of the yes, the confidence of the yes. It didn't even sound like there's a discussion to be had at all. It seemed like this is so elementary that you should already know. Can a man in a relationship buy a woman a drink?
Hell no.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
They can.
Now, mind you, B said yes. Yada said hell nah. Now, I think Yada was being funny because I believe she's about to walk it down a little bit or add some context to it. But B said immediate yes, similar to the yes for accepting the drink.
Troy, what you think?
This is with ladies.
Hit the like button as you come in.
So it's
No, just for the ladies. Okay,
do I want you to buy drinks for the bitch all night? No.
I mean,
but
so you see how there's always a limit when it comes to what men can do. It's like you can do it, but just don't do it this much. But when it was on the women of receiving the drinks, not only was it an immediate yes, it was I get drunk. Now, I don't know about you, but it take me a couple of these to get drunk. So that means that on a woman's side, there is no limit whenever you get good and ready to stop. But as you see, when it comes to their man buying a woman a drink, for some reason, don't buy the bitch a drink all night. Which is also subjective because there's no number on it. Because that's not even subjective, it's just vague actually. There's an unspecified number. And I think women do that a lot. I've personally been in relationships where women expect you to be mind readers. You should have known that type of thing. Men are very, simple, I would say. Complex, but simple for the most part. We're very logical. We like to deal with numbers. We're not very good at math, but we like to know numbers, Now, let me say, I'm not good at math. Let me not speak for all men like that. I'm not very good at math, but if you gave me a number, I can count to it at the least. Okay? So is there what's the limit? Is there a time limit?
An introductory that introduce yourself as I'm engaged or married.
Is it 20 minutes elapsed? Because so there's also there's a limit as you, and I didn't even peep this before because it's it's going through the audio is going through the mics right now, so there's not a bunch of feedback from people talking. But when you're there, you hear a little chatter, this, that, and the third. I didn't even hear that you also have to vocalize and communicate that you are married prior to buying the drink as well. But like I said earlier, there were no contingencies on a woman receiving the drink. So is there a time limit or a drink limit? Because you say don't buy drinks for the bitch all night.
It's a no, really. I'm sorry.
It's a no. Thank you for being honest. So after all of that, they now both agree that it's a no. It's an absolute no. So the man cannot buy a woman a drink who's in a relationship. If a man is in a relationship, he can't buy a woman a drink at all. But she can accept the drink if she's married or in a relationship. Hey, sometimes you got to squeeze the juice out of the lemon.
Okay, so my husband has bought drinks for women at the bar. Like nice. He is have engaged with.
But the question is, are you okay with it?
Yeah, this is.
So the question is, are you okay with it?
You're taking 3 lefts right now.
That makes it right.
You know, I did the calculations 2 days ago because I heard somebody say it. And I was like, nigga, that ain't a right necessarily. You kind of right back where you started.
So
I mean, you right back where you started. Exactly.
Anyway,
I'm gonna say that I'm not opposed to that. I don't really have a problem as long as you're not like draining our bank account. I don't have a problem with that, if I'm honest.
Okay, so a man can spend $150 on drinks.
I'm gonna say 75.
So still, it's a vague number. We got it to 75. So men, your limit is $75 for drinks when you're buying women drinks when you're in a relationship. $75 seems to be the tops. This was $150 was too much. Remember, she said no. She said absolutely not. B said no.
On her drinks because drinks be expensive, and if I'm gonna say $75 is max. Because if I see our account and it exceeds $150 and you went out by yourself, I got questions.
I call bullshit because
it's subjective at that point, right?
I call bullshit because while that may be okay for her, I think most women.
No, the chat.
Yeah, facts. I can't. The light too bright, but yes, my sister in the back. I call bullshit because I think most women, we're used to men buying us drinks, but we're not used to our men buying other women drinks.
Why is that?
The truth comes out. See, that's one thing I do like about B is that eventually she will err on the side of logical. She'll sometimes just get on the woman's side. They get on the woman's side for the, playful banter. We get it. The battle of the sexes type of thing. But eventually she reeled it back in. And that I believe that was the truth. I think after, how long has this been going? 3 minutes, give or take me actually asking the question. We finally got to the truth. And the truth is that women are used to receiving drinks. You are not used to your man buying another woman a drink. And you know why that is? And we're going to prove this later on. You know what? I'm not going to give a spoiler. Let's keep going. Figure.
Because we get drinks bought for us. Men don't get drinks bought for them necessarily.
That's true.
So I think that we're just used to it. And I'll go back to what we said last week. Troy said last week that we're the only women can go out with just their license and get drinks bought for them all night. Men can't do that.
Men can't.
So we're used to men doing that for us. But do we want our men doing it for other women? I don't think so.
Okay.
So, since you would take a drink if you had a man.
Because I like drinking.
At that point, what is your responsibility to said man who purchased your drink?
Thank you so much for this drink. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
So, the man who approached you and offered to buy you a drink, which you accepted in a relationship, what responsibility to you do you have to that man? Do you have to now open up in conversation? Is he allowed to flirt with you? Can he buy you another drink? How long can he stay there? Or, as we just seen, do you just owe him gratitude? Thank you for the drink, but I'm going to have to bid you a good night. What say you?
I got one better.
That's it?
You gonna smile in his face? It's kind of rude.
She's crazy, y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all.
That's kind of rude. No, we're not gonna do that. You're scaring me.
I'm gonna assume that just meant sit there. I don't know. She hasn't confirmed what that meant exactly.
What else do you want from me?
We want to know.
I actually would probably buy him a drink too at some point.
Okay, so
don't do that because you know.
How many of you ladies are buying a man, a strange man? Mind you, you're in a relationship. You've already accepted a drink from a man. He is now there long enough for you to now buy him a drink. He most likely he approached you with the drink already. He's getting you a drink, so he most likely has a drink. So you've stayed there so long that now you have time to buy him a drink. How long are y'all conversing at this time?
Damn well I would.
At what point is
would.
one or the other
Thank
person
you.
flirting? When does flirting start?
So to say
I can-
that is saying
Just
that
one?
flirting is
Jump in.
not
Yeah, jump
good
in.
in a relationship.
When does flirting start?
Yeah. When does flirting start?
Hello.
I mean, it just depends on the woman, because a woman can say, even if you're just talking to another woman, you're flirting at them. You're flirting with them.
100%.
So I guess
So you're saying it's subjective? Flirting is subjective?
yeah, depending on the
Well, how
woman.
about, how about your personal belief? When does flirting start for you?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know what flirting really is, so I'm a bad person to answer.
You
that
don't know
one, 'cause
what flirting is?
What is flirting? Is flirting conversation?
When you're interested in someone and what's flirting to you? When does flirting start and what is flirting? I think that's a very good topic to discuss one day. Let me write that down. Let me let it play. I'm gonna write it down now. Engage in conversation. That would be flirting, but I'm just like, when does it begin? When you buy the drink?
Yeah.
When you approach a girl and start talking to her?
when you say, "Can I buy you a drink?" That's when the flirting is beginning.
Okay, so going back to you would take a drink from a man if you were in a relationship. This is a single man. He comes to you, buys you a drink. He's now flirting with
If
you.
that's the rationale, then no, I would not accept that.
How would you know that? No
I was
one,
about to
Well, I'm
say-
saying
no
if
one has
that-
it on the
if
back of their
that's-
jersey.
No, but I'm saying if we're going by his definition, that's not my definition.
You think I'm
said
going-
his definition.
You think as a
But
man,
he's the decider. Not you.
Okay, so say what you're.
So I have a question. Who determines when flirting begins? Because what I was saying in my statement, if the man is the one approaching you and you're under the impression, because these women are trying to act as if when a man buys them a drink, they don't know that they're flirting. They're oblivious to the situation that a man is buying them a drink as a flirtatious action. Just have no idea. Ignorance is bliss, right? Just don't know. Is he flirting? Is he just being a nice guy? I don't know.
You're about to say.
you think as a man, I just want to buy you a drink because you look thirsty?
Yeah. You see me
Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Man? I'm trying to get a comment. I'm trying to spark
But I have
something up here.
but there's guys who will buy you a drink and walk away.
Who the fuck is that?
No.
Pardon my outburst, but I was shocked when I heard this. And a couple ladies did piggyback off of that and did co-sign it. But my nigga, honestly, are most men approaching you to solely purchase you a drink by mere virtue of you being present? Mind you, they don't know you. It's not like you were on stage and performed and he bought you a drink as his appreciation to your being able to juggle 5 watermelons in a circus act. If that's not the case, so you're telling me by mere virtue of you being present in this place at this very point in time on some Doctor Strange shit, okay? That's why he bought you. Y'all haven't spoke. He don't know you. He's approaching you, and his opening line is, "Hey, my name is Chris. I seen you from across the room. I was wondering if I could buy you a drink." You're telling me that opening line is pure friendly? I'm talking Mr. Rogers taking off the shoes friendly. That's it? Nah, bro.
There's
plenty of guys who will do that.
Those are guys.
I've had guys do that.
Okay.
Mind you, she's saying plenty, a plethora a gaggle, if you will, a cornucopia, a litany of men are approaching her. Mind you, I just added my own opening line, but I don't know how else an opening line can go in regards to purchasing you a drink. She is saying plenty of men are doing this. Plenty. Now I ask you today, ladies, are most men, do you believe most men, or in your experience, have you had most men approach you to purchase you a drink just because you are there? Because if you're saying it's not because how you look, it's not because what you are doing, you don't turn them on, they're not attracted to you whatsoever, they haven't talked to you yet, just because you're there. This happens plenty of times. Ladies, let me know. And fellas, maybe you're out there and I've just never came across you as a friend or an associate. Fellas, if you're out there and one of your favorite pastimes is to buy women drinks for no reason, please let me know in the comment section of this video. I would love to talk to you. I would love to have you as a guest on the Chris Hall Show. If one of your pastimes are going to work for 5 days straight, then going out to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and one of your guilty pleasures are buying random women drinks, please reach out to me. I have to have you on the show to prove me wrong and let me know this group of men, seemingly in droves, that come out and purchase random women drinks. Por favor.
Thank you. Guys will do that.
So, guys will do that, but they will also circle back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just a setup.
Game.
That's a setup.
Game.
Yeah, that's
They
a
don't
setup.
always circle back. I have had guys buy drinks and not circle back.
Okay. Okay. How about this? Is the majority?
Right.
Damn, I should have asked him that earlier. Real quick side note. Do you believe that 51% over 49% is the majority?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Of course, yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
sorry. I usually ask that first because we get into these weird banters of foolishness.
Right.
Okay,
That's my percentage.
So
I get 51%.
Is the majority of men buying you drinks and walking away?
No.
No, they're not.
So why is it even? A second ago, it was plenty of men do this. But when you ask, is it majority? It's an immediate no. It's not. So I've always asked myself, but now that I have a show and I have a YouTube channel and content to put out, or the ability to put out content, I want to ask, is something that doesn't happen often, something that is rare or anecdotal, meaning just pertains to you, is it worth bringing to a conversation? Not to necessarily, pick on anybody here or during this conversation. This is just like food for thought here. On a side note, stepping away from this particular video, is if something happens or doesn't happen most of the time, doesn't happen so much that it's minuscule. It barely happens. Is it worth mentioning is what I always, because whenever I have these discussions with women, no matter what I say, it's always, well, not all of them, or not all of it, not everywhere. Is it the majority? That's why I asked that 5149 question, because I'm not, ladies, I'm not sure how your minds work. And this isn't germane to one or two, but this is with most women that I speak with. If you don't agree with something, even though you know that this is the majority of people, your rebuttal will be that, well, not everybody. Is that like a way not to be wrong? That if there is a 0.0009% chance of something, that it makes your point equally as valid as the 99.9999% of it? Just by what I told you, you can see how crazy that could be to someone who thinks that way, right? Who thinks logically like that. For someone to say something that's rare is like, why you even said it? Up for debate.
It's not.
Why is it even inputted in the conversation when it's not the majority, the bulk of what we're talking about?
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So, since flirting is a guy buying you a drink, we've already established that, and that's the majority of men. Why would women in a relationship be accepting drinks from men who are flirting with them?
Okay, so that is to say that flirting needs to lead to more. I think that flirting is so flirting is a human trait or reaction that, hey,
so you're saying it's natural.
It's a natural thing.
So you naturally flirt with men. Or flirting, not you, sorry. Women naturally flirt with men who are married.
I believe, yes.
Wow. It's a bombshell there, ain't it? What do y'all think, ladies who are in a relationship, who's married? Would y'all say that y'all, as married couples, you go out and you just automatically flirt with someone? Is that what you're saying? So you in a relationship, instinctively, by virtue of you being a woman, instinctively flirt with men. This is what this married woman is telling us. What say you? Ladies, even single ladies, when you were in a relationship, did you go out and flirt? I guess innocently? Is there an innocent flirting? I don't think it's can you innocently flirt in a relationship? You can innocently flirt maybe when you're single, but I don't know if you can innocently flirt, because as soon as flirt gets put into the gumbo, it's now foul. Flag on the play is what I'm thinking. Unless this is something new going on. I know it's 2022. Men are women, women are men. I mean, I don't know up from down, down from up no more. So I get it. Maybe. Just let me know. Wow. That's a bombshell right there.
She
said women naturally flirt with men.
I think
so women that are married. That's what she was saying.
I think that humans naturally flirt with each other. I don't want to say that it is optional for men or women, but if I'm standing in a public arena in a social setting and a human walks up to me, I've bought women drinks, I've bought men drinks, men have bought me drinks. I am not going out to be stushy like, I'm married, don't talk to me. I'm out because I'm trying to be social. So in that regard, you're
So what say you? Women who've been in relationships or women who are married? When you go out, is you not accepting a drink from a man, you being stush? That's a Jamaican word for stuck up. If you don't engage in flirting with other men, does that mean you're being stuck up or a Debbie Downer, party pooper, something like that? If you don't flirt? Ladies, are you pressured to flirt? That's a good question. Ladies who are in relationships or who have been in relationships and go out with your single friends, do you feel pressured to flirt because the other single girls are flirting? Guys, when you're in a relationship and you go out with your single friends, are you pressured to flirt because you don't want to be a party pooper. You don't want to get looked at a certain way, like a bitch or a punk, for not hollering at all these hoes in here, and you ain't gonna say nothing, nigga. You know what they gonna say. Are you pressured? Do you fold under that type of pressure, fellas? Ladies, do y'all fold under that type of pressure? Or, like the young lady is saying here, you naturally flirt anyway, so you don't really see it as a problem. My question to you, people who think like this, is it okay for your boyfriend or your husband to also naturally flirt with other women when he is out? Just because, like you said, just by virtue of being human, you flirt.
Making your statement as if flirting needs to lead to more.
I just stopped at flirting.
Okay.
I never went no further.
So if you're flirting, I'm a male, you're a female, you're flirting with me, I'm flirting with you, fine. I can walk away and I can go home to my husband and live my merry little life.
Question. We got a question.
Why can't a husband?
We got a question.
Okay.
I'm not saying that my husband
She said her
can't.
husband, yeah.
All right.
No, I got a question. So for the panel, so if your significant other is there, would you accept that drink if he's standing right there, or she's standing?
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask because my husband be like, well, shit, you gonna buy her a drink or what? Is that true or not? B?
It's very true.
So,
It is very true. Her husband's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5149.
Under regular
Yeah.
circumstances.
But I mean, I think
Regular circumstances.
So would you do it if majority, not, I mean,
Yes.
you're like a unicorn.
maybe I'm an anomaly, right?
Okay, so would you still think women would do it if their significant other standing?
I think they'd want to, but they want it.
They wouldn't, so
Yeah.
why do it if they ain't standing?
You're right. Touche. Touche, man.
All right. So I think we came down to unraveling the double standard. It sounds like everyone's kind of agrees on the double standard. Because what he asked, I don't know if you all heard him, I know he's a lot lower because he's in the audience. I got to fix that at some point. It gets better and better, y'all. He was asking if your husband was there, would you still accept the same drink? Now, Yada said yes, she would because she has a specific type of or a special type of relationship with her husband where that's discussed. Remember, like I was saying earlier, anything that's discussed in your marriage and agreed upon at inception, I'm good with that. Whatever y'all agreed to, and if you did things change, if you come back to the table and agree to something else, I'm good with that. So they have a special anecdotal circumstance that most women don't have, but it seems like they did concede to if you wouldn't do it, if you want to do it, if your husband wasn't there, then why would you do it when he's not? Or if you want to do it when your husband's there but you won't, why would you absolutely do it when he's not? That must mean there's something wrong with it. So that's how I believe they conceded. But let's watch more. Let's see.
Nigga, touche. You right.
Because I don't want my bank
escalated
balance
quickly.
to go down. I feel like it's...
Anyone else?
I know y'all wrong with your answers.
Okay.
Anyone got something?
Stop saying y'all.
A question.
Yes.
Exactly. He's talking about you, kid,
For
Yada.
another person's
Hold on.
intention on approaching you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ladies, are you responsible for someone else's intentions? Now, how it was framed, possibly not. But as a young lady is going to say later, unfortunately, spoiler alert, you have to have intuition. I think that's the female common sense. I guess that's what female intuition is. It's like female common sense. To know, and that's why we had to walk down this whole flirting thing, because you have to have the wherewithal to understand that this man who's approaching me most likely is approaching me for flirting purposes. You know, I think it's better to err on the side of that than it is anything else. If you want to add your opinion, you can click the link in the comment section, come into the Zoom, we can talk. and click the like button when you come in. Yeah, if that's the case, then you can just go out in a relationship, accept drinks, but then when your husband's there, you wouldn't accept it. But we had to walk down the flirting thing because, look, we know that men are approaching you for flirting purposes, but you have to understand that when they come to you. So that's why I said the way she framed it, I guess not, but you still have to understand that men are approaching you, or you would err on the side of he's coming to holla at me. Lean on that, and then if he shows you otherwise, then that's different. But I would lean towards he's coming to holler at you.
So they're saying you're responsible for your reaction. Go ahead.
You are, because you know what his intentions are.
Yes.
I do not.
Well, but you can ask, and you can.
So now we're going to act all game goofy is what I like to call it. Is that we're going to act like we just have no idea as women that buying, you know what? Name me the movie that you've seen where men just buy women drinks for no reason. They go to the bar and buy women drinks for no reason. Maybe it's my white shirt. I don't know. I got to fix that at some point. Y'all let me know if it gets silly over there. Yeah, what I notice is that sometimes women can be disingenuous to a fault. And I really don't know if it's your intention, if it's like an impulse. You know how the doctor got the little hammer and he hit you. Well, that ain't my knee, but he hit your knee and then you kick. You didn't want to kick the doctor. I don't even know if that's real. That's just some cartoon shit. But you get hit, boom, your reflexes, you kick your foot out. I don't know if that's an impulse reaction to stuff sometimes, or if y'all really are serious to where you think a man is not approaching you for flirting purposes when he buys you a drink. This cannot be real. I literally thought I was in a parallel universe at this point.
So I'm going to ask, are you trying to hit on me, sir, before you buy me a drink?
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could do that.
Or,
But then you could do that.
Shut the hell up.
we're
We would
both
appreciate
here. If you would just present yourself as, hey, I want to get to know you.
That's what the drink is.
That's what the drink is.
No, see, this
That's an assumption.
is exactly, and this is what we get
No.
messed up.
I love her. She should
But
be
listen,
here.
Get her a seat. Get her a seat.
You're not. See, this is when it becomes now battle of the sexes instead of let's, talking common sense. Because the two female panelists already agreed earlier in this segment that most men are approaching you for flirting purposes. Because they agree that the men who are not are the minority. And I believe they conceded to where it's not even worth mentioning. But it wasn't until another woman had an alternate view that may support them not knowing was when the two panelists decided to jump on that point instead. They already conceded their point, but since someone else had an add-on to the situation, then they run with that one because it's a woman doing it. And that's very disingenuous, y'all. I will say that y'all do that. That you know you're wrong, but because someone else has let's say another, I won't say better point, but let's say to y'all someone has a better point than you had, you'll jump on that point instead. Listen,
do this with these two.
hold on, listen.
But you're not letting her finish.
These are, hold on, this is my show here. These are men buying the drinks.
Again.
How are you trying to tell the men who are buying the drinks?
Well, y'all
So
suckers for buying everybody
what I'm saying
drinks.
is, if I'm at the bar with my good Judy.
So now we suckers for buying the drink. The discontent for men, man. Y'all know why we're buying this drink. Now we're suckers for buying it. Then if we don't buy it, we broke. Fellas, I try to make it my business to say this every show. Do not fall victim to the words of women. Do not fall victim to the name calling of women. This is why it's so important to have a father or some type of male influence that can guide you through your emotions as a man. And this is a side note. This is off of this subject. The good thing about a father is that he can understand the emotions that you deal with, because men aren't supposed to cry and aren't supposed to have emotions. I'll be honest, that is true. You're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be able to guide your emotions with logic and think them through or walk through them with perfect peace. You shouldn't react to a woman's name calling because, fellas, they cannot beat you physically. So what else would they do besides calling you some type of name? That is a female's left and right hook. And my set look weak as fuck. Hey, don't take this for granted. My set real. I can't, the mic in the way. Chill. I got hands. Shit. But that's a woman's left and right hook right there, is that mouth. That's what that mouth do. Because they can't, and they know that if you was raised by your mama, 9 times out of 10, you can't handle your emotions. And once you fly off the handle, that's when they've won. So you have to make sure that you work on your emotions and don't let the name calling of women affect you in any type of way. Now, I will say, you don't allow no woman to talk to you any type of way either. But with every situation, you'll be able to have discernment, or you should be able to have discernment, so you know when and when not to react to a woman's name calling.
Having a good kiki, girl.
We're drinking, we having a good time. You bring your ass over to me. And you ask me, would you like a drink? Hell yeah.
Does he look like the...
See how when he's coming over, it's bring your ass over here as if his presence is not wanted. When he arrives and asks to buy you a drink, you say, yes, you can purchase me a drink, knowing that he's there for flirting purposes. But as always, it's the man's fault for coming over there flirting with you. And if you leave the club and no one has approached you, you say, man, these niggas was weak out there and they weren't saying nothing, right? Yeah, weak ass niggas. Fellas, do not fall victim to the words of women. That'll be a dope book title, wouldn't it? The word I could write a book on the words of women. If you steal it, that's messed up. God don't like no ugly, man. God don't like ugly. Don't do that. Bartender to you?
Wait. This is why I think a lot of people, we get messed up. You want me to intend what you trying to portray. That doesn't mean that I want to flirt with you or I want something from you. You came to ask me if I want to drink. I want to drink.
Okay, granted. Okay, let's say from here on out, I'm telling you, when a nigga buy you a drink, he's flirting with you. Would you change your actions after? No, you wouldn't. So they're saying that, well, she's saying that if now, because clearly she didn't know before, had no idea. Cool, granted. If today I told you, moving forward, every man from here on out, where's that? Oh, sorry. Every man, move over there a little bit. Boom. Okay. Every man from here on out is approaching you from flirting for flirting purposes. Would you change your actions? And she said yes. How many of y'all believe that? Raise your hand.
I I would.
You would still do the same thing. So does it matter if we tell them they're gonna believe whatever they believe?
Well, it does because when I said if we're gonna use, go ahead, baby. Go ahead,
No,
baby.
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I think it's not fair to think that all women would be okay if they knew a person's intention. Some people genuinely, you see a woman, she looks nice, you want to give her a drink. I've had it where men have walked up to me. It's not like I'm doing anything sexual to say, hey, I got a sign on my head, hey, come flirt with me. You came over to me and asked me if I'd like a drink. If I'm in a relationship and I think the way you're approaching me is quite aggressive, you're flirty, like trying to take me home, I will decline. Women decline drinks all the time.
So you saying if he was more conservative with his approach, you would take it,
I like that.
right?
But I kind of feel like
Be honest.
So are you saying if my approach was more conservative, then you would take it? Because you said aggressive and all of that.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person. Like, it depends on the way a person approaches you. Just because I'm a woman and you approach me doesn't make me thirsty because you asked me about.
So you think that men go around buying women drinks they're not interested in?
I think that men do what the hell they want to do.
Answer the question I asked you.
I'm trying to say this. I can't read your mind.
Answer the question that I'm asking.
I'm not responsible for assuming
No,
what your intention
I get
is.
that. I 100% I agree with you. No, I do agree with you. But the question is,
We're gonna get this.
okay, but wait.
We're gonna get this answer.
Chris.
it was so funny because I kept asking the same question, but I never got an answer from him. And at that given moment, it just hit me that I asked that question like 4 times, and I still didn't get an answer to it.
And then we're gonna get.
I have a question
Go
now.
ahead.
I just really feel like y'all try to make us responsible
No,
for what's going on in y'all's
what I'm asking you is, do you believe?
thought about just not accepting
Yeah.
Right,
Do you?
yes, I just said there are times
No,
I don't accept drinks.
No, the actual question was, do you believe that there are men who go around buying girls drinks that they're not interested
Majority,
in?
51%.
Majority.
51%.
I think there was something
said
that
yes?
attracted you to me. Yes,
Okay.
I got you.
You said okay. You said yes that there is men who just run around buying.
No.
Oh, there's not.
It'd be so hard to get a concrete
Okay, go,
answer.
go, go.
No, she said something. Even Matt realized how difficult it is when having a conversation with women to get like a concrete answer. Everything is so vague and subjective and depends on this and depends on that. It's never a concrete answer. Why is that, ladies? Is it because you run your logic through your emotions, and due to the fact your emotions are everywhere, that's why it's not black and white? Is that it?
No,
No, that's actually what I was gonna say. Is there's something
No,
that
Troy
hurts
has
me.
something
No, all
to
I'm
say.
saying.
You sure?
But I have a question though. But I have a question. So, take out that she's in a relationship. Is it also wrong for her to take a drink from you if she's not into you and she's not in a relationship?
No. You can do whatever you want if you're single.
So it's okay for me to spend your money if I think you're ugly.
Right.
And not attractive to you and have no intention on going any
If you're
further.
single, you can do whatever you want to
No,
do.
I did not agree with you should accept the guy's drink you're not interested in. See, I had to think about that one because that was obviously a different type of question. So the question is, if you're single and not interested in a man and he's approaching you, we've already came to the conclusion that when a man approaches you, more times than not, he's approaching you for flirting purposes. Okay? So if you're single and not interested in the man who's approaching you, should you accept the drink? Yes or no? Me personally, I say no. You should not accept the man's drink. You should say, no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. Now, if he proceeds to buy you a drink and you have a relationship like yada, or you just have the mindset of that you can still accept a drink and everything will be all good, then you can proceed. But do not, because now you've told him, hey, I do have a boyfriend, If he said, hey, no, I just want to buy you a drink just because you're standing there. Who does that? I don't know. But if that's what he wanted to do and you let it be known you have a boyfriend, you don't necessarily have to say, I'm not interested. Da, 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 da. You say no for the advance of the drink. I have a boyfriend, and he proceeds to say, that's cool, I just wanted to buy you a drink. Then hell, take the drink. But do not accept a man's drink knowing you're not interested and you did not let him know. You just took his drink for no reason. You meet the right one doing that.
Exactly.
You should.
That's more.
You should.
Oh,
You should not.
we have a newer audience.
Hey, girl,
If he's
I'm gonna buy you a drink, girl. I ain't trying to fuck, but I'm trying to buy you a drink, okay?
Special intro to Night of God. The owners in the house, people.
Say thank you, y'all.
So you should accept a drink from a guy if you're single and a man buys you a drink, thirsty as in like.
If you want a drink.
If you're parched.
I mean, but I'll always be thirsty, so.
Everybody can't buy me a drink.
I'm sorry.
Like, not every man in the room could buy me a drink. If you seem like you're gonna pose a problem, if you're gonna kind of like, but that's up to your like intuition to gauge. But sometimes, even as a woman, I would buy somebody a drink as a gesture.
That's what I said. Yep.
So I don't want
A
anything.
woman or a man?
Remember,
I've only ever
your
been
boyfriend
women.
can't. You're in a relationship.
She's a woman.
Okay,
Boyfriend
you got that
club.
man a drink or a woman?
I've bought both.
Yeah.
Me
Just
too.
depends, you know?
Absolutely.
But I don't know if I'm right, maybe because I own a venue, but even outside of my venue and I'm somewhere, hey, you look nice, let me buy you a drink, or hey, just as a gesture, nice to meet you. What are you drinking? Or let's run a tab or something like that. So it depends, but then not everyone's drink. You know, if a person is too forward and you're in a relationship and you know, like, let me buy you, you're like, not so much. You know,
Bang, 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 bang.
Exactly. But I mean, you know, we got built-in intuition. And it's a gesture.
I
Agree. Fully agree.
For sure, for sure.
All right.
Okay, next question. That was good, right?
All right.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I try to lighten it up a little bit,
Thank
right? Trying to bring it
All
down.
right, well, let's go.
Bring it
What's
up.
up?
Ready?
We might take that into overtime, but we got to get to the other question.
Yes, next question. All right. So we back like cook crack. So that was the conversation, man. That was the conversation. Should a woman in a relationship be accepting drinks from a man? I don't think so. I don't know how comfortable I would be with my girlfriend or my wife accepting a drink from a man out, especially when I'm not there. Now, I understand, y'all. I can see myself at times allowing my girl to get a drink from a dude because she's going home with me. And instead of spending my money, I'm going to spend your money for being an idiot and buying my girl a drink. That's a lesson you going to learn. Unless you just feel good by buying another nigga's bitch a drink, then I'll oblige you so you can gain said feeling. That's perfectly fine with me. But I don't know how comfortable I would be with my girl accepting a drink and I'm not there. Mainly because I know what men are interested in when they're purchasing you anything. I don't think y'all understand that. A man literally can have a not a special account, but he goes to work to make money and he has allotted funds for entertainment. If he's spending money out to be entertained and he spends it on you, that's where the question of what do you owe this man at this point, because he's paying for entertainment. You better get to doing some soft shoe, okay? My goodness. But we're going to be having more shows, more lives, of course. I'm back. I went to Savannah this past weekend. Thank you, Savannah. I had a good time out there. I had some good food. It was a very relaxed. I just wanted to go relax for a bit. I didn't want to go nowhere too far, nowhere too busy, just relax. And that's exactly what I need. And I think I'm bigger, better, and badder. But we're going to start having more lives. I got my stuff back set up. I'm going to start doing some short Instagram lives as well, just to, have my finger on the pulse of the streets, as the cool kids say. But definitely stay tuned for more information. Make sure that you subscribe to the Chris Hall Show. Just go to YouTube, type in the Chris Hall Show. I should be the coolest Chris Hall Show there. I think it's some other weirdo that has the Chris Hall Show but ain't on there. Shout out to you. But make sure you follow the right Chris Hall Show. We're two different shades, so you should recognize me. Follow me on Instagram, the ChrisHallATL, the Chris Hall Show YouTube, and also send your donations, Cash App donations, ChrisHallATL. That's it. That's all. Make sure you also check out the Chris Hall podcast that's streaming on all platforms. But other than that, I'm out.